Good morning and welcome to the CGS Biblecast. I'm grateful that you guys join us each morning here. And we're going to be in Genesis chapter 42 today. We're still on the story of Joseph. So let's get to the word here. Here we go. So we're in chapter 42, verse 6 and 7. Let's just read here and we'll get into context after that. Since Joseph was the governor of all of Egypt and in charge of selling grain to all the people, it was to him that his brothers came. When they arrived, they bowed before him with their faces to the ground. Joseph recognized his brothers instantly, but he pretended to be a stranger and spoke harshly to them. "Where are you from?" he demanded. So, Joseph is doing well for himself. He's no longer in jail, no longer living as a nomad, a slave. He's found increase. God has blessed him along the way, and he's doing really well for himself. And then he finds himself the governor of Egypt, and he's in charge of all the grain, all this influence here. Here comes the brothers. These are the guys that sold him into slavery. First, they were going to kill him and threw him into this cistern, where he's just going to die in there. Yeah, so not great dudes. And I'm sure this, as soon as he saw him, it was like all of this emotion just welling up within him, here come these scoundrels or whatever. So all that's going on, and he decides he's going to mess with them a little bit. So he speaks very harshly with them. This reunion isn't exactly probably what he had in mind when he thought he would see his brothers again. And he had this dream years ago of his brothers bowing down to him, and he's thinking, man, God knew this was going to happen. So he speaks harshly to them. This dream starts to unfold before his eyes. And he's got the perfect setup for revenge, but he knew that God So he knew that he needed to go through this really, really difficult stretch of time in order for him to be in the position that he's in. It's like he had this moment where he's like, I would not be in this place if they didn't sell me. And so, though it was really bad, things were not good, it would be terrible to get sold by your family. It would be terrible to get thrown into jail. But God gave him this gift to interpret dreams, and he was able to use this to get ahead. And so it's easy to focus on the transgressions against us. Here we're getting to the meat of it. However, such narrow focus is cloudy and can cause us to miss what God is doing through us. If we get caught up with only focusing on these these really hard things and thinking God, how could you let my life be destroyed? How could you let my life go this way? How could you let them do this to me? And you get caught up in this, and when you get ahead and you start thinking about these transgressions and how you can use your influence to get back at people, that really narrows our focus. And we're not able to see the big picture. See, at times when the vision for his purpose and plans for us may seem blurry, and we don't really understand it. And at some point in our life, things clear out. We're able to have a clearer vision of what God has been doing behind the scenes. And while we may be left in the dark at times, be encouraged because God is in control. Hold on and fix your eyes on him. In due time, you'll start to see with 2020 vision that God makes his plans clear. Eventually, it's going to make sense, and you'll see that God uses the bad to make the future better. He makes you better. He makes you stronger. And it's through these moments where things are just really bleak. I mean, I can't imagine the anger of what it would feel like to be sold into slavery by your brother, to feel abandoned, to feel forgotten, like we talked about before, how he was forgotten in jail. That would feel really bad. that's not something that you just go, oh, well, it's going to get better in the future. No, you feel like this is the worst thing in the world. But there's something to be said about remaining faithful to God through those moments and letting him work in those things to make you stronger, to make you better. So if you're going through it right now, my prayer for you is that you hold on. You know that it's cloudy vision. You know you can't see everything right now, but hold on, because eventually it's going to be clear, and God is going to use this time to make you stronger. And how did he do that? I have no idea, but he does. He did for Joseph. He told him years ago, look, listen, everyone's going to come and bow down to you. And they did. And they're going to do the same for you. Maybe people aren't going to bow down, but things are going to get clear, and you're going to see what God does with this tough stretch in your life. Be blessed. Amen.